welcome to the Poison Tea Party podcast. We are going to get right down to business and give you all the very best gift of the giving season because we are so giving.
We're so giving.
This is our super sweet and sinister Christmas episode. And if you've been good little girls and boys this year, you might just avoid the clutches of Krampus, the traditional Christmas figure who deals with the naughty list in his own dark way. More on that in a minute. I'm your host, Janet, and of course, taking a break from rolling out all those delicious sugar cookies is Santa's favorite elf and my favorite sissy, Trass.
Wee! And fuck you for your stupid ass comment that nobody understands, but it's fine because I'm gonna roll with it.
And over here, more blitz than blitzin', hogging all the eggnog is my beautiful daughter, Kaylee.
Period.
Oh, wow.
Hey, guys.
We're coming at you straight from the haunted Christmas tree farm, over the river and through the woods. Pull up a comfy chair, grab your granny's teacup, pour your favorite eggnog, because this is going to be terrifyingly festive.
No, eggnog is my favorite eggnog.
It's so good.
It's
God.
disgusting.
I love the coffee eggnog. If y'all ain't had that,
But before we get into all that,
rude as hell. I was kidding.
I do like that. Guess what? We have news. Like big news. Big exciting news. We're so excited to announce
Uh-oh.
this news to all of you out there. I'm so excited that I can't even do it probably. So, here's the deal. If I tell you now, it's just gonna be all I want to talk about.
Oh, God.
So, I'm not gonna do it right now. Okay, so if you you just gotta stay tuned. You gotta stay tuned to the end of the show, and then we are going to tell you our big, huge, gigantic, enormous, freaking
Extravagant.
news.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't skip ahead.
Don't.
You gotta listen to the whole
You got to
fucking
listen to
thing.
this because this is going to be good. And you can all be excited too. And it's actually a lot like Christmas, like the excitement and the mystery, but you have to wait to open the presents. You know what I mean?
I don't wait. I'm terrible. I'm one of those people that buys the presents and wants to give it to you right away.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I just looked at you like, bitch, I already gave you Christmas presents.
But I promise, Poison Tea Party Society, the wait is almost over and it will be worth the wait. But for now, let's jump into the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas time. It's a time of celebration, a time to gather and enjoy the warmth of family and friends and indulge in all the different traditions, religious and otherwise. Everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say the warm and fuzzies of Christmas, right?
Right.
Sure.
Wow.
I'm Scrooge.
Even the smell of Christmas is unique, and it brings back a flood of memories from all the Christmases past when we remember loved ones who've come and gone, and hopefully all the great memories that go along with it. So, girls, what is your favorite part of Christmas?
Decorating.
Kaylee,
You wanna know
Kaylee
my-
likes Christmas.
You want to know my favorite
My sister
part?
doesn't like Christmas.
No,
It's
she
when it's
doesn't.
fucking over.
It's when it's fucking over.
Oh, my God.
That's fucking rough.
Dislike.
Huge Scrooge.
My children are not allowed to have Christmas on Christmas.
That's
don't.
so
They
sad.
don't. I don't think that they've had a Christmas on Christmas their entire fucking lives.
The poor babies.
They're
Why?
fine. My kids also don't know what Santa Claus is. I mean, they do now. They know who he is, but
Yeah, she didn't do Santa.
no, they
No.
don't know. They don't do Santa.
I love.
And that's fine. It's whatever you want it to be.
I love Christmas. I loved Santa growing up. I loved reindeers growing up. I loved watching the Santa Tracker growing up.
Yep.
I loved decorating cookies growing up. Anything, every time of year, getting to make all like the sweet treats for Christmas.
Yeah,
That
like
was
the
like
fudge and the
yes,
pecan
balls,
balls and
fudge, cookies.
Sugar cookies and
Every morning I would get up so early compared to everyone else, and I would fucking wake everybody up. I did not give a hell. It was the one time of year I would wake everyone up, not caring. I would get my sister up, and once I got her up, it was like game over.
game over.
And it's just like the greatest thing ever. It's like the most exciting feeling for
just-
whatever reason.
It feels
And
so good.
It was my favorite
Does
thing
it?
too.
Yes, it does. And then my daddy walks
Yes.
through the door.
Every year, and he
That's-
goes, ho, ho, ho.
Yep, he does that at our house too.
Every year. And sometimes if he's really in the spirit, he's wearing a Christmas hat, and I love it.
Yep.
Another thing that I really love is on Christmas morning, it's also like Thanksgiving, where it's like chaotic as fuck for a second.
Yep, for a little bit.
And like I always get up super early or come over to my mom's now because I don't live here anymore.
Boy.
Sad. But I will come here. I still come here earlier than everyone else. And I always, like, one of my favorite things for whatever reason is setting everything up. So, like, getting all the cake or cookies and whatever the fuck and all the treats, and then putting all the creamers out and all the coffee.
Yeah, because we gotta have a coffee bar.
Yeah.
You have to have a coffee bar.
Cappuccino and hot chocolate
Yep.
and all of that stuff
I
is
ain't coming
set
if there
up.
ain't no coffee
That's
bar.
right.
For real. And then helping all of my grandparents bring in all their food and presents and whatever the hell else they may have brought. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just so fun. I love it.
I do too. I love it. And the traditions of Christmas, like you touched on them briefly there, but like the cookie making, the hanging the stockings,
We just, like, every year we
we
always
go to Jolly
decorate.
Holiday Lights, like the
Yes.
light shows and things
I like
that,
all of that.
yeah.
I like all of the
the
decorating.
tradition
Yeah.
of it. You just maybe don't like the actual.
I don't like the actual Christmas Day part of it.
You know why you don't?
Why?
Because the stress of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much know that about myself, which is why we don't do it on Christmas. We wait until after.
I'm telling you, when my kids were the age that your kids are now, it became, I hated it almost.
Yeah.
Like it was a pressure
Yeah, it's too
to
much.
perform and get
Yeah.
all the shit that they want and have them be able to go back from Christmas break and be like, I had the greatest Christmas ever. You know, it was just like, it's a lot of pressure. But then once
like it.
my kids are older now, I still have, my son is younger, but
But your other two are well past
yeah.
that.
And once it gets past that, it's starting to become fun again. And you know what I can't wait for? The little ones that are gonna come later, and
Well-
I am just gonna be like that grandma that's like a fucking. So I'm gonna probably have to have my grandkid here on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Like
for
they're not
sure.
gonna be
Yeah.
able to stay at home.
For sure. I'd be okay with that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Christmas
I
is
like-
Christmas again.
I
Finally.
mean, I hope that I get there someday because I used to love Christmas and me and the kids used to decorate the house and whatever. And we still do our Christmas tree. Our tradition is Thanksgiving night. We go home and we decorate the Christmas tree. That's just what we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
And we like to do the Jolly Holiday Lights and
Yep.
we like to do the baking and we like to do all of the traditions leading up to Christmas.
Yeah.
I just don't. And, I don't ever have my children on Christmas, so I think that that's part of why I'm so McGroogey on fucking Christmas.
because it feels like everybody else is having their family time and you don't have yours at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
I would not like that.
It blows. I still come here. I come here every year on Christmas morning, but it's not the same when you don't have your kids with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Because that's about the time when I started to really fucking hate Christmas was when I had to share Christmas.
Yeah.
So I don't have them. So I'm happy when it's all fucking over with.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of am too. It is a stressful holiday, but it's starting to become fun again. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I love
for that.
Christmas. I love getting stuff for people, but, like, this year.
Yeah, this year's tight for all of us, bruh.
Yeah,
This
and that's not
year's
what it's about. It's not about
no.
getting people.
It's not about it, but it is fun. Like, I
is
enjoy
fun.
doing that. But, yeah, I just love Christmas.
Me too. So personally, because I feel like we're all friends here at the Poison Tea Party, I just want to tell you all, I don't happen to celebrate Christmas in the religious sense.
Yeah.
Our Christmas isn't about Christ at our house, but instead it's solely focused on family. It's a celebration of our love for each other and traditions that we've carried through the generations to come together and feast and give gifts and dedication made by all of us to carry out that close bond that we all have. And our traditions look a lot like others, but the sentiment is just a little bit different. And every single family has a slightly different way of celebrating the Christmas season, and that's okay. And it's great even, because who wants to be the same?
And
Yeah.
who the fuck does a Santa gift? What the fuck is a Santa gift?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
the fuck is a Santa? What
If
is
you're
that?
gonna
What do you
do-
mean?
Some people do. Most people here where we live, when I moved here, I had to learn about this, is that one gift under the tree is from Santa and it's always wrapped specially or not wrapped at all. And the rest of them are just whatever, which is fucking dumb. Because when I was little,
What?
all gifts were from Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, they're
I
all from
fucking-
Santa. My
not
mom's
here.
too poor. She can't afford it.
Right. Not here.
I'm
Not
sorry.
Here. You get a Santa gift.
Also, my biggest pet peeve, the one thing that I absolutely fucking hate about Christmas is Secret Santa at work.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Although sometimes you be getting some good shit from Secret Santa.
No, I don't do that shit.
Oh, sometimes I be getting some good shit from
This
Secret
year-
I
Santa.
don't do that.
They asked me if I wanted to do that, and I was like, no, I can barely afford gifts for the people I want to get them for. So, sorry.
Just go to the fucking Dollar Tree and
No
get
shit.
something.
Yeah, no.
Perhaps the most commonly known Christians celebrate Christmas Day as the birth of Jesus Christ, who they believed was the Son of God. The Jewish Festival of Lights is known as Hanukkah and is an 8-night celebration that commemorates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem and takes place during this time of year, according to the Hebrew calendar. And Kwanzaa, which is observed from December 26th through January 1st, is the celebration of African culture. Now, these are just a few, but there are literally hundreds of Christmas traditions known around the world. But to really understand traditions, we have to go way back.
Way the fuck back.
Way back to the beginning. Christmas wouldn't be the holiday it is without pagans.
Absolutely. Love them pagans. We
Me
just
too.
talked about
Oh,
them
we
pagans.
We did.
Yes.
And in fact, you could say that most of the religions practiced today derived a massive chunk of their beliefs directly from pagans. Decorating a Christmas tree, gift giving, caroling, Yule logs, huge celebrations and gatherings, Christmas toasts, and even Santa Claus all have very sturdy pagan roots and lore. So tonight, as we're all nestled by the fire, toasty and warm with our teacups full of eggnog, I thought we'd take a deeper dive into the Yuletide traditions that, as far as most of us know, are purely innocent and full of Christmas cheer. What I'm about to tell you about one of your most favorite holidays might surprise you. It turns out there are some things about Christmas that are a whole lot darker than you ever imagined.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's what I was trying to say.
Too scary.
I was definitely trying to say that the last one. Nobody listened.
You did say that, but
Yep.
I'm going to say it a
But we
lot.
gonna
I'm going
go-
to say it more.
We gonna go into it.
Yeah, we got to talk about Christmas.
Let's get into it.
I'm going to start with a common Christmas decoration.
Uh-oh.
A simple bunch of greenery that hangs overhead during the Yuletide season. And if you find yourself under it, you've got to kiss the person next to you. Hey, that's the rule. I don't make the rules. That's right. I'm obviously talking about mistletoe.
Mistletoe.
But where does mistletoe come from? Did you know that there's actually more than 1,000 species of mistletoe found around the world? And the first disturbing fact, this is so crazy, about it is it's classified as a hemiparasitic plant. This means that while the mistletoe uses classic photosynthesis to draw some of its energy and thrive from the sun, they also attach themselves to the stems and branches of trees and suck nutrients from them. You know, like vampires.
Mm-hmm.
We
It's
know
sucking
about
all your
vampires.
energy.
We know
Don't
about
we?
them around here. Most of the time, it's not harmful to the tree. They usually just coexist together, but from time to time, mistletoe have been known to suck the host tree completely dry of its nutrients, killing the tree.
That's disgusting.
Ew.
That's murderous.
That's murderous.
It's Christmas, for Christ's sake.
For fuck's sakes, you gotta be grateful.
That's right.
Tea break.
Tea break. Eggnog.
Eggnog.
Gross. I won't be drinking eggnog.
Oh, it's so good.
Don't worry, I got beer.
Mistletoe has a striking appearance in wintertime. Their leaves stay bright green, like most springtime plants year-round, and they develop white or red berries depending on the species. They are a beautiful sight against a bare, dead appearance of their host tree.
Yeah.
For this reason, many early cultures deemed the mistletoe to be a sacred plant, and numerous myths and stories grew around that. Ancient Druids are believed to have used mistletoe in a ceremony that involved the sacrifice of 2 white bulls. No word on what that actually was about,
Wow.
but anyway,
Must
Yeah.
be white bulls.
mistletoe also appears in a very well-known story in Norse mythology. This is kind of cool.
Yep. Need to know about it.
So this is the quick version of the story. The beloved son of Odin and Frigg was the god Balder. Odin had a vision that Balder was going to die, so he tells his wife Frigg. And naturally, she's upset at the idea of her beloved son's potential death. She goes around and speaks to all things and asks them to promise not to harm Balder. Things like stone, iron, wood, metal, leaves. But when Frigg came upon the mistletoe, she didn't ask it to leave Balder alone because it was harmless. All the things agreed not to harm her beloved son. So the gods, in true god fashion, later had a celebration to commemorate that. And from this day on, Balder would be safe from all things. The gods gathered around Balder and threw shit at him. They threw shit like metal, wood, iron. Everything bounced right off him. Balder could not be harmed. But Hod, a blind god and Balder's brother, was sad that he couldn't partake in the throwing of shit at his brother, which is hilarious.
Love it.
The god Loki saw Hod's sadness as an opportunity. Loki took the form of an old woman and came to Hod with a dart. Loki, in this old woman form, told Hod, "Take this dart and throw it at your brother. It cannot harm him." Still disguised as the old woman, Loki directed Hod where to throw, but what Hod didn't know is that the dart was made of mistletoe, the only thing that didn't promise not to hurt his brother. And Balder was killed instantly.
Dun, dun, dun.
What the fuck?
That's fucked up.
That's pretty dark lore for a harmless little plant.
Mm-hmm.
In the Roman epic, the Aeneid, the hero Aeneas uses a golden bough of mistletoe to enter the realm of the dead to speak to his father's ghost. Mistletoe was used by the Greeks and Romans as a cure for everything from menstrual cramps to spleen disorders, and it was even made into a balm and claimed to be able to be used against epilepsy, ulcers, and poisons.
Okay.
We need some of that here at our tea party.
Yes.
The tradition of decorating with hanging clumps of mistletoe began during the Roman winter holiday that we all know and love around here, Saturnalia.
Fucking right, we do.
But the romantic lore associated with the mistletoe most likely started with the ancient Celtic Druids of the 1st century AD. It's believed that since the mistletoe could blossom during the frozen dead of winter, the Druids viewed it as a sacred symbol of vivacity and used it to restore fertility in humans and animals.
I mean, that makes sense, especially in those times. Why you would think that.
As you'll see as we move through our episode tonight, a common theme. The once pagan tradition of the mistletoe became intertwined with Christmas, and today is a well-established part of holiday celebrations. I found 2 kissing traditions that go along with mistletoe, and it's kind of fascinating. This is the one we all know. One says if a woman standing under a mistletoe refuses a kiss, she'll not receive any marriage proposals for a year.
Oh, darn.
I know. And we know that because we're just little old women and we can't refuse kissing.
Yeah. Isn't that
The
so
second,
allowed.
though, this is kind of cool, says that if a man is refused by a woman under a mistletoe, he will not be able to find love for a year. And I thought it was interesting to find because most lore like this is almost always directed toward the idea if a woman doesn't do something, she'll be punished. Mm-hmm. But it's not too often you see the consequences for a man. So that's awesome, and I think I like mistletoe.
Yeah. I support it.
Yeah. Mistletoe
Ooh.
can come to my house.
Yeah.
I know. It
Yeah.
can just chill.
Yeah. It's
Big
invited to
chill.
the tea party.
It can hook on a tree somewhere around here.
Ursula, you free?
She's free.
She's free.
She is. She wants to make out. She told me.
She's always free.
For those of you that didn't know, Christmas actually goes hand in hand with ghost stories. More on that later. But I wanted to tell you about a popular ghost story right out of England that relates to the mistletoe and is guaranteed to give you the creeps. I wanted to originally do this whole episode on mistletoe because there is literally so much information.
Well, that's what I thought we were only talking about today because that's what we had discussed.
Yeah, but I brought in more shit.
Perfect.
But this story I really wanted to tell. So here it goes.
Here we go.
No one quite knows how long ago this story takes place, but it is believed in England that it's a story purely based in fact. Like, they do not think it's a ghost story. This is the story.
This is legit.
Yeah. Once upon a
Too
time, but
legit.
really this happened kind of thing.
Okay.
This takes place sometime in the 18th century. Once upon a time, there was a daughter of a nobleman whose name's been lost to history. She fell in love with a gentleman of high standing named Lord Lavelle. The halls were decked with boughs of holly and mistletoe as the happy couple was married in the groom's castle on Christmas Eve. That night, after the festivities, the bride was not quite ready to call it a night. She suggested the whole wedding party play a game of hide and seek, and she added whoever found her in the spirit of the Christmas mistletoe would get to kiss her. The bride ran off, giggling into the darkness of the castle to hide, and after a couple minutes, the men dispersed. Lord Lavelle was determined to find his new bride first. The handsome groom and guests searched high and low for the lovely young bride, but came up empty-handed. Soon they began to call out for her. "Okay, we give up. Come out. We can't find you." But there's no answer. Fun quickly turns to panic as they continue to search for the bride well into the night. Eventually, it became clear to Lord Lavelle and the bride's father she'd disappeared.
She gone.
She
gone with the wind.
She's out of there. Lord Lavelle, grief-stricken, lived on in the castle in hopes that someday his bride would return. But days, weeks, and years go by with still no sign of his love. There were whispers that the bride had fled, but Lord Lavelle knew that this could not be true. One day, 50 years later after the bride's disappearance, Lord Lavelle was searching the attic of the castle for clues when he came across a hidden room he'd never seen before. He entered the room and found a beautiful chest made of oak, but when he lifted the lid, he made a grisly discovery. There, laying in her white wedding dress and clutching a bouquet of flowers, was the skeletal remains of his long-lost bride. And tragically, inside the lid of the chest were crisscross scratch marks, a brutal sign of the young bride's attempt to escape. There are many variations of this popular Christmas ghost story, but any way you tell it, it radiates with like a long-lasting uneasiness, and the names and dates were lost to time, but these ghost stories always have a way of lingering, just like the mistletoe.
What a
Oh
fucking...
my god.
Isn't that fucked up?
Wow.
I mean, yeah.
It's
'Cause
called The Mistletoe Bride if you ever want to read different stories of it.
What an asshole you would feel like that your bride
You didn't go check
suffocated in a fucking
upstairs?
chest.
How do you not know
I
of a
mean,
room in your house? That means it's
Yeah.
too big, honey.
Absolutely.
Literally.
No, I'm not on board with that. The next tradition is very old indeed and is, yes, you guessed it, pagan.
Oh.
Fancy. Yule logs are a pretty interesting
sure
piece of
are.
his holiday history. They were originally entire trees that were burned inside a house. The perfect tree would be found, cut down, stripped of its branches until the main trunk remained, and then it was fed to the fireplace for 12 days of Christmas, often through the front door.
Oh.
Did you know this?
No, I didn't know
So they would leave the front door of their dwellings open to feed the tree through the hearth of the fireplace.
Oh. I
For
did
12
not-
days.
I did, well, it has to burn
Yeah.
continuously. I didn't know that that's how
But
they did it.
they would
though.
get like
And
literal
that's-
trees, huge
so that's
trees.
why they did it. So
Yeah.
continuously, because it was a whole fucking tree.
Yeah, it's huge. It's giant.
Yeah.
But as the ancient tradition of the Yule log says, should the blazing log cast shadows that appear to be headless, then you are guaranteed to see a death over the coming year. After time, the Yule log became just that, a log. Thank God.
Yeah.
Much easier to handle and prepare. It's still a popular Christmas tradition today used throughout the world. And instead of a giant tree burning for 12 nights, it's become one log that burns on the 12th night. You may also recognize a Yule log as a dessert. When people began to build houses without fireplaces, it became a popular custom to bake a yummy confection referred to as a Yule log. It's a deliciously sweet roll of chocolate cake and cream decorated to resemble the much beloved Yule log.
I think they're disgusting.
You can make it out of any cake you want.
I don't like it.
You can even put chocolate in it if you
No,
want.
it's not the cake itself. It's the way that it's made. It's like a fucking giant Swiss cake roll.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. I don't like the cream.
You don't have to put cream. You can put frosting. You can put
I
anything.
don't want the
You don't even
frosting.
have to put anything in
I
it.
just want the cake.
Then just make one out of cake.
Okay. It's a little bit harder to roll that fucking thing up, though.
You just do it when it's warm, and then
Yeah, you gotta do it special.
Yeah.
You gotta do it right when it's warm. You gotta roll it up with the paper, and then you gotta let it sit for a little bit, and then you gotta take the paper off and then roll it back up again.
Yeah.
But that's usually if you're doing cream, you want to do that. But if you're not doing cream, you don't have to do that. You can take the paper off right away and just roll it.
Oh, well, fuck you and your logic.
Just
But
saying.
I don't want the cream in the middle. I don't like the cream.
How the fuck do you not want the cream? That's
It's
the best part.
disgusting. I don't like it.
I don't want a Yule log without cream.
I mean, if it's whipped cream, okay.
Yeah, I can do whipped cream.
I
All right,
don't
let's
want
do
the
it.
buttercream or nothing like that.
Why don't you want butter?
Because it's disgusting.
She doesn't know about good Christmas
I like a
dessert.
little bit. It's too sweet. It's too much. I don't like the frosting. I will do the whipped cream. Put some fucking chocolate whipped cream up in that bitch. I will fucking eat it. Bruh.
Can we do mousse?
Can we do?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, chocolate caramel in the middle of like a fucking. Let's do that.
Can we spread ganache first?
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that on my Christmas coochie counter.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for
We're
that
gonna
coochie
take
counter.
We're gonna take pictures of it. We're gonna put it on the fucking podcast.
It's gonna be a New Year's coochie
I was
counter.
gonna do a pull apart like cupcake thing. Now I'm doing that.
Yeah,
Probably
a
not.
Yule log.
But I'm gonna try.
I think it sounds
Yum.
fabulous. Speaking of logs,
Uh-oh.
let's talk about perhaps one of the most recognizable symbols of the entire Christmas season. The Christmas tree. What is so funny?
Because I thought we were gonna talk about poop. For a
That's
second.
what I was going to talk about, the
okay,
massive
listen.
logs I take.
My brain went
And we
somewhere
both were
else.
dying.
I said
And I said,
we ain't gonna talk about poop right now.
We're
right?
not talking about poop.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Christmas
My
trees.
bad.
we can.
My bad. I mean, I could talk about poop all day.
for real, I ain't
And
scared.
have.
Yeah.
Don't fucking
sorry.
threaten me with a good time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go there.
For real.
Decorated evergreen trees have been used in rituals since ancient times, and though no one knows for sure, many believe the tradition originated in Germany.
All right, Germany.
Hell yeah. Evergreens are viewed in much the same way as mistletoe, as they remain beautiful and vibrant through the frigid cold of the winter season and bring hope and a sense of vigilance at a time that could be exceptionally trying as far as survival goes. The evergreen tree became part of the Christian rites in Germany. In the Middle Ages, paradise trees began to appear. Meant to represent the Garden of Eden, paradise trees were decorated with apples, which makes sense, duh.
Yeah.
Fucking Garden of Eden.
Candles were eventually added, resembling the guiding light of the Lord and transforming it into the Christmas tree that we know today. So, what makes a Christmas tree scary? Well, according to the pagans, evergreen trees were home to spirits in the wintertime. Cutting one down and bringing it into your home opened up a family to all kinds of supernatural risks. It was believed that by decorating that tree and leaving food under its boughs, you could appease the ghosts and bribe them not to haunt your family.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't want them to haunt you
I don't
forever.
want to get a ghost.
yeah.
I don't want to get a ghost.
We don't
We
want
don't
to get a
want that.
ghost.
Before electricity, Christmas trees were often decorated with candles, as we had said before.
That's dangerous.
Super dangerous.
You want to know how dangerous it was?
Yeah.
In the 1870s, Christmas tree fires became so prevalent, insurance companies stopped paying out for fires due to the candlelit trees. Today, with our electrical lit trees, there are still about 155 tree fires each year across the U.S. during the Christmas season, resulting in approximately 6 fatalities and 16 injuries nationwide.
Jesus.
Yep.
So that sucks for a Christmas.
Well, a lot of people, like, they get a
Thing.
real tree and they don't water it.
Yeah.
They forget to put the water in it, so then it becomes dried out, and then their bulbs just fucking light it. Whereas, like, you know, like a store-bought Christmas tree, yeah, they can still catch on fire, but they're more, like, safeguarded against that.
And Christmas tree fires happened a lot more, like, when we were kids. I remember hearing
Yeah.
about it a lot more, but now with, like, the LED lights and stuff like that,
Yeah.
they don't get as hot.
No.
So you don't hear about it as much. I don't think those numbers are so super high, but any number
Is
of
too
deaths
much.
on Christmas is too much.
Yeah. It's sad.
Even if it's not from a Christmas tree. It's too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't want any deaths. I hate when people pass away around Christmas. It's awful.
Yeah.
The next tradition goes all the way back to, yep, that's right, the old pagan celebration of the winter solstice. I'm talking about something that everyone here at the Poison Tea Party can really get behind, Christmas caroling.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We fucking love singing around here, if you didn't know.
I don't think that you knew this about us.
You probably didn't know that yet.
but
we
just
do.
so you're aware.
Now you know because we said it out loud.
we love to sing.
As it turns out, people have basically been caroling since the beginning of time, but did you know that the first Christmas carol was written in the 2nd century? That's pretty fucking
Wow.
old.
That's a long fucking time ago.
From there, the evolution of the Christmas carol went through a brief time of being mostly written in Latin. Since regular folks didn't speak Latin, caroling died out for a bit before it burst back onto the scene because, as we know, you can't not sing with all that Christmas spirit in your heart.
Well, I mean, I
For
can
real.
sing without Christmas spirit.
I sing every day, all the time.
But
I make a song about
one of
everything.
my favorite,
Same.
one of my favorite Christmas songs is. You guys are gonna laugh, but it's the one that Cartman sings it.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I like that song.
That's a good one.
Hanson did that one.
Or
Yes, that's another reason. But Hanson's Christmas album, anything on it, I'm here for it.
I
and I will
love the
sing it.
Snowden
right
album.
now.
I don't care. Judge me.
Yeah, please do because
I don't
I'll fuck
fucking
you up.
care.
Personally, I'm a huge fan of Dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. Dreidel, 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 and Dreidel I will play.
Second verse, same as the first.
Oh, it's a good one.
It's a good one. Okay, so the first.
Courtney Cox. I love you. I'm just kidding.
You're so
Go ahead.
hot on that show.
The first English Christmas carol emerged in the 1400s and began to focus more on the story of Jesus. Then, a radical Puritan and political figure of the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland, Oliver Cromwell outlawed public singing of Christmas carols.
What a fucking dick.
I know. And that was in 1644.
What a fucking loser.
But the people said, fuck you, Oliver. And they
Yeah.
still practiced the Christmas tradition behind closed doors, and eventually the rule was abolished, and the
Good
people
for
could
them.
sing and celebrate once again, thank fucking God.
As
Good
they
for
should.
them. Singing is for everyone.
It is.
It
It's
is.
for everyone,
Duh.
for all times.
Love
Christmas caroling would not be seen publicly until the 1800s when two guys, William Sandys and Davis Gilbert, began collecting old seasonal music from villages all over England. The men published their collections, and once again, caroling became a public display, with local leaders appointing prominent people to become official carol singers.
Yeah.
Love it.
And what is so bad about Christmas caroling, you ask? Plenty.
Blammy.
Let me show you something.
Oh,
Let me teach you a little
Originally referred to as sinful traffic by the church,
shut the fuck up.
early carolers would dress up for
Jesus.
the occasion, and I think that's awesome.
I think it's
Sometimes
wonderful.
singing lewd and mischievous lyrics that were often
I got my dick in my hand. I got my dick in my hand. I love them fucking people from like the 18th century, man.
Oh my god, that one
They be
old
crazy.
lady. She's that one old lady from like, oh my god, she was like the 1800s. Her music is crazy.
You're talking about that black lady.
Yes, and she's like, my titties are sweating, and I'm out here walking.
Because they were just so lewd. Okay.
Sorry, girl.
They were just so lewd and obnoxious, and I feel like they were our people.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'd fit right in.
For real.
I'm pretty sure
Time
she
machine,
was-
take me back.
I'd be like,
Take me
She-
back. But
she's-
also, I need air
she was a real one.
conditioning, and
oh yeah, we don't take
Yeah.
me back.
I need Facebook.
Leave me here.
Love
Oh
it.
my god. The lyrics were often even accompanied by a dance. You're going to love it even more because alcohol was usually another staple of the night out caroling, and carolers often got out of control and sometimes violent.
Oh,
In one recorded...
that I can't get behind. But
No, yeah.
out of control.
But the alcohol part, I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Hey,
But we don't want to... Look, I don't have the energy.
I ain't
No.
trying.
I
To,
just
I
wanna
ain't trying
sing.
to go to jail today.
That's right. In one recorded instance, when a guy named Gilbert Day Fox Lee tried to break up the caroling, he's obviously French, right?
Yeah.
Tried to break up the caroling, he was stabbed in the back with a dagger, cut in the right arm with a sword, and slashed on the left leg with an axe. He died after 8 weeks of infection and pain.
not stop,
Oh.
No, we will
Well-
not. We're gonna fight for our right to
Party! That's where that song stems from.
And why are they bringing swords and axes
For
and
that
fucking
motherfucker
knives?
right there.
Listen, because of reasons. Okay.
They won't stop.
Damn. Apparently, carolers took their caroling very seriously and were well armed.
As they should.
Yep.
It's also well documented that Christmas carolers could be complete assholes and sometimes took over entire homes. They did. It's crazy.
Hold on. They just were like, let us sing you a carol. And then they were like, fuck you, we're coming in.
The custom was that when carolers came a caroling, you had better have something to offer them.
Ooh.
Food, water, or warmth. And if they felt that they were not treated to what they thought they deserved, it wasn't out of the question that they would barge right through your door and help themselves. If this tradition sounds kind of familiar, it should, because it ties closely to our trick-or-treating traditions
Yep.
today, except for the home invasion part.
Well,
Some purge shit.
if you come caroling at my house, I'll pour you a nice glass of whatever
I'll
the
get
fuck.
you a shot,
Yep. We
I'll get
got
you a
it.
shot.
You want it? I'll slap it down. We got it.
but you ain't
For
hanging
real.
out too long.
No, you need to get the
No.
fuck out.
I mean, but I do want to sing. I might go with you, actually. We can go somewhere
You know
else.
what? This sounds like a great idea. Let me grab my fucking cooler.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm coming with you.
We should get the cooler on the wagon
And decorate
fucking
it.
just
We should put a big old
put
Christmas
lights
tree on the
it.
top of it.
Oh my god. And
That's
go
a-
caroling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
it.
sing for
We're
beer.
doing it.
That's it.
We're doing it.
Obviously, that's the most genius thing we've ever thought of.
Absolutely. We're just going to sing South Park songs.
Who wants to come? You should come with us.
Come join us and be one of us.
One of us.
One of us. Meet us by the Christmas tree at dawn. We ride
Going
at
down.
dawn.
We ride at dawn.
Maybe we should do it at night. I
was
think
gonna
we're
say
supposed to do it at night.
Yeah, we should do it before dawn.
Dusk.
Yeah.
Meet us at dusk.
Let's start at 6. 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
That's
sharp.
it.
But
We can't go after 9 because I need to be in my jammies and my fuzzy puppy
That's okay,
blanket.
because if I'm drinking, I don't have a time limit. It's fine.
Exactly.
that's true. Okay, the next tradition is as scary as Christmas comes. We all know Santa Claus, that jolly old elf that loads presents on his sleigh and delivers them on Christmas Eve night to all the good little boys and girls. Santa is one of the biggest stars of Christmas time, and he is known by many names. Santa Claus, St. Nicholas, Kris Kringle, but what if I told you that there's actually a much scarier, much more disturbing figure who once rode beside Santa as one of the most recognized figures of the season?
Yep.
You know who it is?
I already know where we're going.
Yeah. You
There's
should.
there's a few of them, though.
Yep.
At his height, he could be seen pictured side by side with the lovable St. Nicholas, but has since fallen from pop culture just a bit. Every year in early December, children get ready for St. Nicholas to visit them. If they've been good, he'll reward them with presents and treats. But if they've been bad, they'll get a lot more than a lump of coal. They'll have to answer to Krampus.
And you don't want to fucking answer to Krampus.
No.
Who's Krampus, you ask? He's just a towering half-man, half-goat devilish figure who comes around every year to chase naughty children, beat them with a switch, and maybe even drag them to hell in a sack that he's carried on his back.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Oh my god.
No biggie.
Oh my god. It's been a few pods since I've said that.
That's funny. Terrifying. Yeah.
Yes.
Imagine hearing it when you're a child.
Fuck them kids.
I guess.
They should be talking about that more. Because all y'all kids need to be hearing that shit.
All y'all baby kids better watch out. Krampus is coming.
I got
For
babies,
real.
kids. You want to tell them about Krampus?
I will tell them.
They don't give a fuck. They don't. European versions of St. Nicholas have long had scary counterparts like Bell's Nickel, which you were
Yes.
probably talking
Yep.
about before, who also had hands out punishments to misbehaving children. But Krampus is a particularly frightening character. He comes from the folklore in Austria's Alpine region, where he's been frightening children and amusing adults for hundreds of years.
Love that guy.
If this sounds positively wicked, it absolutely is. Scaring children into behaving has been a way of life of the human race since the very beginning. A way for parents to gain control of unruly youth by not only promising rewards for good behavior, but also promising to be dragged to hell for anything less.
Little boy going to hell. We really need to be sponsored by
do.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Can you guys just like the page?
That's
I
all
would
I want.
That's all
probably-
we want.
That's
all
really
of
all I
my,
want.
all of my wet dreams will come true.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it. That's all we want. Who gives a shit about Tiny Tim's mental health anyway? Am I right?
For real.
I mean, you right.
Yeah. Krampus and St. Nick's origins are based in the pagan celebration of the winter solstice. Krampusnacht. Imagine, what language do you think that is?
Knocked. It's definitely German.
It is German, yes. I was wondering if you would hear how angry it sounds.
Yeah.
Meaning, Krampus night was a night when adults would dress in evil, devilish costumes and make brief appearances in and around their homes to scare children into behaving.
Good. Fuck them kids.
This is the most fucked up shit.
Fuck them
I
kids.
mean, it's kind of iconic.
kind of. It's completely
It's-
iconic.
Yeah. And also, I can't get over the fact that I was sitting here and I'm like, Krampus knocked? Where?
Where did Krampus knock?
Mom,
It's totally German.
Krampusnacht.
That's
Yeah.
because the German language is very angry.
It
sounding.
is. It
Angry.
sounds very angry.
Yeah.
But later, another Krampus tradition practice in Austria that can still be seen today called Krampuslauf, also German,
Yeah.
which translates to Krampus Run, is an event where men are said to blow off steam by getting blackout drunk and dressing up as the Horned Krampus and running craze through the streets.
Wow,
can
that
get
sounds
behind
like
that.
me.
Sounds like the fucking best time of our lives. We should go.
Yeah,
We should do
I can
it.
definitely get behind that.
I do that shit all the time.
I know.
Every
Can
other
I
weekend.
dress as Krampus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I?
absolutely.
Let's all be it.
Let's do it.
Let's be the Krampus sisters.
The Krampus
Oh my God,
sisters.
yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Can we have boobs?
Yeah.
Like on the outside?
We're gonna be the Sanderson sisters, only the Krampus,
Krampus.
sisters.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is happening. Later, when the postcard industry experienced a big boom in Germany and Austria in the 1890s, cards were created depicting Krampus stuffing distressed children into his satchel and preparing to open a whole can of whoop-ass with a bundle of birch sticks on another.
Yep.
Many of these postcards showed Krampus going after children with sticks, leading them away in chains, or stuffing them into his ever-present bag of horrors.
Yeah.
All with the delightful caption reading, Gruss von Krampus, or Greetings from Krampus.
Or fuck around and find
Find
out.
out.
That's really
Exactly.
what it should say. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
There were also cards that were a little more, shall we say, risque.
Risque.
Oh, wow. What's more risque than that?
I know. Cards created in the 20th century still depict the classic punishing of naughty children, but now there were some that took it to a more sexual level.
Oh.
In these images, I know. Why
They
do they always
gotta
gotta do
ruin
this?
this
Because
shit.
everything's got to be sexual.
But the devil kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And that's kind of what he looks like, is the devil. In these images, Krampus can be seen proposing to women and even posing as himself as a large woman, whipping tiny men and hauling them off in her satchel. He's turned into a she in those pictures.
I mean, okay. I'll allow
Yeah.
it.
I'll allow it. In another, a sensually smiling woman dangles a defeated-looking Krampus in the air with one hand while holding his bundle of birch sticks behind her back in the other. Sounds like Krampus has been a naughty boy.
Oh my god.
I can get behind it.
I'm dead.
So they're just like funny,
Yeah.
you know. It's not like
Weird.
Krampus porn or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
It could
probably
be.
out there.
Maybe it is for some people. And this was back like in the early,
Yeah.
so it was like risque that,
yeah.
Anyway.
how dare you dress as a woman, Krampus?
Don't do it, Krampus. For over a century, most Americans had probably never even seen a Krampus card or even knew who Krampus was. But that all changed when in 2004, which is pretty recently, an art director named Monty Bucamp published a book of collections of Krampus stamps. It was followed by a popular art show featuring the same cards. And since then, Krampus is seeing new life in America. Hollywood movies.
Yep. There's one out now. Is it on Netflix? I can't remember. It's just called Krampus.
Krampus.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but I saw it on
yet.
there.
Yeah.
Hollywood horror movies, ugly Krampus Christmas sweaters, coffee mugs, and other Krampus merchandise sell out as soon as it hits the shelves. Krampus is becoming a household name once again, and that's pretty terrifying considering the fear he's meant to instill in little ones across the world.
I'll allow it.
And though there are many variations of this horrifying Christmas figure, one thing is for certain, Krampus is the OG bad Santa you don't want to cross.
Don't fuck with
Don't
Krampus.
fuck with Krampus.
You know, like on Futurama when they have the what's his name? It's not. They still call him Santa, but they call him something else.
I don't watch that one.
So they have Santa Claus, and then they every year they have Santa come through, but he's never good.
Oh,
In Futurama, he's
That's
always
funny.
bad.
Yeah.
He's
I like
always bad, and that's Krampus.
That's,
that's Krampus.
Krampus.
So we're going to get on to the next one here. Towards the end of each year, as the fireplaces are lit and hot cocoa is made, Americans have made it a tradition to revisit their favorite classic holiday books, movies, and songs. And though ghost stories may seem out of place in the present-day American holiday celebrations, they were once a Christmas staple, reaching their peak of popularity in Victorian England. This is the tradition of Christmas ghost stories.
I can get behind
Yes.
some Christmas ghost stories.
Yeah.
Like most long-standing cultural customs, the precise origin of telling ghost stories at the end of the year is unknown, largely because it began as an oral tradition without written record.
She said oral.
I said oral. And I've touched on the roots of storytelling before. We've done episodes on it. But as far as we know, humans have been trying to scare each other since forever.
Because it's fun.
It
It is fun. You got to scare
Why
like
not?
the easily scared, and it's so fun.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm not scared anymore, because my sister and Zach have fucking scared me half to death for my entire fucking life.
Allegedly. I'm often using scary storytelling as a way of warning against the dangers of early human life in a world where the odds were all stacked against them. But it was in Victorian England that telling supernatural tales at the end of the year, specifically during Christmas season, went from an oral tradition to a timely trend. And that was in part due to the development of the steam-powered printing press during the Industrial Revolution that made the written word more widely available and, of course, higher literacy rates. The broad audience represented in the stories themselves, which were sometimes centered around the working class characters, and other times took place in like haunted manor houses, only adding to the popularity of the Christmas ghost stories because there was something for everyone. So then along came Charles Dickens and his 1843 novel, A Christmas Carol. We all know the story. It's been retold countless times, and it's been made in different styles of full-length feature films like live action to computer animation, and my personal favorite, good old-fashioned hand-drawn animation starring Mickey Mouse and Scrooge McDuck. That's my fucking favorite
That's
one.
my favorite one, too.
I don't care.
It's the least, like,
It's
fucked
sweet,
up of
it's
them
short,
all. Yeah,
it's fucking
not,
to the point.
and it's not
It's
like...
still pretty fucked up.
It is, but it's not as, like...
It scared me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit. I was like,
And
"Mm."
Mickey was like, oh, ho, ho, ho,
Yeah,
ho,
that
ho."
part when Pete laughs at the end, the
Yeah.
Christmas past, is that what he is?
Yeah, I believe so.
And he fucking is like smoking his cigar and he fucking is laughing. His eyes turn orange or red or whatever. I was always like, oh my God, this guy's fucking mad.
Back when you could smoke in cartoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just let him. I don't smoke. And my sister doesn't smoke because the cartoons did.
Yeah.
I assure
Yeah.
you. But anyway, that's another.
That's not why I smoke.
No, it's not, Kaylee.
Kaylee Joe.
Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol recounts the
What,
story.
bitches?
Recounts the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, a cranky, money-hungry old man who's visited by the ghost of his former business partner, Jacob Marley. Throughout the story, Scrooge is visited by ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future as they try to persuade him to change his ways or suffer the consequences. Confronted with what will come to pass if he continues on his selfish path, Scrooge has a change of heart and is transformed into a kinder, more gentler soul, and all is right with the world. Sounds warm and fuzzy.
It's so cute.
But
Kind of.
anyone who's ever read this story in its entirety knows of all the darkness that's harbored within. Lost loves, extreme greed, starvation, and even death and death of a child are all
Poverty.
Yep, they're all front and center in this Christmas tale, leaving almost no room for the warm and fuzzy feeling. And though the story ends well, the horrors of the story still leave a lasting impression on audiences, and perhaps that's why this ghost story was so successful. Since the Dickens novel, other Christmas-themed ghost stories gained popularity, like The Mistletoe Bride, that's the one I read earlier.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm going to look that one up.
It's really good. And there's another one you should look up because I already told the Mistletoe Bride one. It's called The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell, which our English audience out there will recognize immediately since it's incredibly popular in England. And I highly recommend reading it if you want to get good and spooked. It's right along the lines of The Mistletoe Bride. It's like, it's creepy.
All right. I can get
Yeah.
behind that.
And it takes place in that same time.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that Christmas ghost stories just hit different. Scary stories told in disguise of the comforts of Christmas while nestled around a fire in the dead of the frozen winter sound like a recipe for a creepy time, and we're all here for it.
I'm
Yes.
definitely here for it.
Me
it's
too.
dark outside. There ain't no fucking sun.
I know.
You're gonna
Sounds
be. It's
awesome. It's cold.
You don't want to go outside. You just want to be inside and
Yeah.
snuggled up. And guess what goes great with snuggling up? Some
Ghost
fucking ghost
stories.
stories, man.
I
Something
also
spooky.
love watching my horror movies still.
I like
this
the
time.
murders.
Well, that's kind of, but they're, yeah. Eh.
But I used to religiously watch that fucking snowman movie. Do you remember
Jack
that shit?
Frost?
Yes.
The killer
the
snowman?
Killer
yeah,
snowman.
that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Is
Oh
it Jack
my
Frost?
God.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
or
it is
something?
called
I
Jack
think so.
Frost, but I don't know why because
It's not about Jack Frost.
It's not really. It's got God damn it, what is his fucking name? Everything's like blue in the movie.
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
like a
movie is
real
like blue.
Yeah.
It's so old. It's like, isn't it an 80s movie?
no,
No,
it's 90s.
It's 90s.
90s.
Yeah.
But it is called Jack
It'd
Frost.
look old to you.
and
but
Jack
it's-
Frost is
It was like
in it.
low budget though.
Yeah, but it's mostly about this fucking snowman.
It's just a snowman.
So it's just kind of weird. But yeah, that one's creepy.
I
That
love that
fucking
one.
snowman in that one is fucking.
That one's hilarious.
Lily and I
like
used to watch that movie every fucking year on Christmas, and it was so funny.
I raised some heathens.
Yeah, I don't even know if they have that.
It's okay,
shit.
they're one of us.
They're one of us.
One of us.
Oh my god. So this is the last tradition, and it has pagan roots as well. And is one I know everyone who listens to the Poison Tea Party will receive extremely well. It's the fabulous Christmas toast. So the ancient Greeks drank to each other's health and welfare. In the Odyssey, Ulysses drank to the health of Achilles. But the toast actually has a really dark reason for even becoming a thing in the first place.
Wonderful. I want to hear about it.
So poison was a potent part and a silent weapon in the 6th century BC and a popular tool in the takedown of several notable rulers.
Yep.
Toasting got its start as a goodwill gesture to assure others the drink wasn't spiked with poison. So that's nice of them, I guess.
I suppose.
Toasting eventually made its way into Roman society, and they added toasted breadcrumbs to their goblets. Yeah,
What the
That's
hell?
disgusting.
to cut the acidity of their often bitter wine.
Well, I'm sure that their wine was not like
But-
as good as our wine.
Ew, not my fault. Like,
I mean,
don't eat
right.
bread.
Well, I was talking to my kids about this. Don't ask. Okay, but we were talking about
Why? No.
Because Bodhi was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, mead and whatever.
Yeah.
And ale was the first whatever, but it was fucking disgusting because it's like jailhouse wine. And he's like, what the fuck is that? I'm
Oh,
like,
God,
it's like
fermented
hooch.
fruit.
And he's like, what the fuck is hooch? So then I had to tell him what hooch was. And I was like, disgusting.
Yeah, don't do it.
No,
You
it's
could
nasty.
die.
It's
So
fucking
bad.
gross.
Just telling me you could die. I don't know. Toasting became so important to the Romans that the Senate decreed all diners must drink to the Roman Emperor Augustus at every single meal and pray for his good health. Toasting eventually spread through Europe and England, where the fun part of the clanking of the glasses was added to the tradition. Whether the clanking was added as an attempt to mix the contents of each other's glasses together, lessening the chance of being poisoned, or to add sound to the experience of the toast, no one really knows for sure.
It is fun.
It is fun.
It is fun. That's why you bang on the glass at the weddings.
Yeah, that's fun
Ding,
too.
ding, 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 ding. I did that every 5 seconds at my sister's wedding, and she got really mad at me.
It was hilarious.
It was at first, and then after like the 10th time, she was like, "Give me
Shut
this
the fuck
fucking
up."
look," and she was like, "Don't do it again." And I was like, "Ding, ding, 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 ding."
We were all
Yeah.
rowdy. I can't believe I'm still married.
"Good for you."
Yeah. It is actually
I love it.
something to be proud of.
No.
In the 14th century came the waysailers, and that's the carolers. That's what they call them.
Oh, okay.
We talked about them earlier and how they love to drink, but what I didn't tell you is how. This is absolutely disgusting.
Oh, gross. Okay.
Waysailers often drank from a community bowl of wine, and that's not all. They carried chunks of toasted bread with them that they would dip into the shared bowl and eat.
Yo,
No doubt there was double dipping going on
that's
along the way.
disgusting. Like, I would share a glass of wine with you guys, like if we were out caroling,
Yeah.
like with you three. But if you dip anything in that fucking wine,
No
I'm freaking
shit.
out.
I'm
You're
gonna
not
punch
drinking
you
it.
in the face.
No, I would punch myself in the face.
For real.
and
That's
I can't
for real.
stand it. I really can't
Can we
stand
all
it
agree on that?
when a bitch is like, here, try this. And they hand me a can with fucking all
No.
their friends sitting there.
No.
dude.
I'd be like, no, I'm good.
Ew.
Listen,
I stare at it.
unless it's like one of you two or like my husband, I am not trying whatever you're passing to me.
Yeah, no.
It's disgusting.
I'm like,
I mean, if my mom gave it to me, because I know she ain't gonna fucking dip nothing in there. Neither
Yeah.
one of them. Neither
No.
one of my mothers will be like, here, try this fucking thing that I dipped bread in.
No.
they wouldn't do
No,
that.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Other than that, nobody. I ain't sharing
No.
shit
Just
with
the
nobody.
idea is making me feel really queasy.
That's fucking gross. And that's how you got herpes.
But
Yeah.
then, as if that didn't want to make you run out and join the nearest Waysailor Club, they would each then take that bread dipped wine and pour it into their cups and drink it along the way as they caroled. Can
all
you
those little breadcrumbs.
chunky wine, just like rolling up through
chunky
your.
wine? Oh
just
my god!
rolling up.
Shut
The
Can
soggy
you imagine?
pieces of bread.
Like, I know that they didn't use straws then, but like as one of us, like being, with our cups, because we do all be having our cups.
Yeah.
And I do be having a straw in my cup. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you just fucking
Oh my god!
just
shut
fucking
up.
suck up a fucking chunk. That's disgusting.
Did you ever? No, I can't. Let's not talk about that.
That's fucking
It's a
gross.
good thing that there was alcohol in it that might have killed some of the germ swapping going on, but I don't know.
Or multiplied them. Who knows?
yeah,
That's fucking disgusting. How did
it's so bad. I can't.
How did I get smallpox?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
It was probably
take
Steven
a
from
look.
fucking 4 houses over when we went waysailing last night.
No, it's got to be
Exactly.
like Mark, Luke, or John.
Yeah.
Or
oh yeah,
like-
it's not Steven probably.
No,
it's probably like
it's-
Mark, Luke, or John.
Yeah, for sure. God damn it, Johnny.
By the 17th century, toasting became so popular that the English nobility added the position of the toastmaster because the English believe in servants for everything.
They definitely do.
Toastmasters were highly versed in the areas of oratory, poetry, and toasting etiquette, and wore ceremonial red dinner jackets.
Oh, like Hugh Hefner.
Yeah.
Oh god.
There are thousands of toasting customs across the cultures of the world. In Korea, it's custom that no glass can be filled until it's completely emptied. So the last few drops have to be shaken out before the host will refill your glass.
I mean, that's okay as long as it's a glass, but like in the beer, I always leave the last like little bit.
I used to, but I don't think I do.
I mean, I don't
anymore.
think I really did with any of these.
Because I drink them too fast and
Yeah.
nothing goes.
But if I'm holding it for a while, I won't drink the last.
yeah,
little bit.
no, you're right. I don't do that either, but that hasn't
For
happened
that
in a
reason,
while.
because I don't want no weird shit coming in my mouth.
Yeah,
Ew, disgusting.
I don't
I
need
just
no
said coming in
surprises.
my mouth.
Yeah, we don't
And
want
that
no
was a
surprises.
whole nother level of disgusting that I did not mean to bring forth upon this podcast.
You did. You brought it forth upon us.
That is
How
disgusting.
fucking could you?
Disturbed.
I can't.
I'm a confusion.
But in Japan, it's the very opposite. So a glass should never be allowed to become empty.
that I can
in
get behind
Japan.
that.
Yeah,
and
I
I
can get
think I
behind
like that one
I
a
like
little
that
better.
one.
I can get behind that.
So Christmas toasts aren't generally a spooky thing, but they are rooted in the lore of mistrust and suspicion of one another, which is a shitty human quality and kind of ironic that today we think of them as a way to express well wishes and all things good for one another. Or
Yeah.
do we?
That's kind of
I
fucked
mean-
up.
I mean,
Well, that concludes our very poison Christmas episode, and we hope you had fun and learned some things. I know we did.
Oh, yes.
If
I
you
like
want-
to learn all the things.
I do too. I love learning.
We love learning.
If you want to hang out with us a little more or find out more about all the things that we've got going on, you can head over to our website at thepoisonteaparty.com or hop on over to the Facebook page, search The Poison Tea Party, and like us and get all the latest updates, news on episode drops, and all the latest Poison Tea Party news. If you want to support the show, we would really, really, really appreciate it. And you can do that by going over to the website and clicking the Support the Show tab. And that will take you directly to our Patreon page where you can become a member and get all the big Poison Tea Party news first, gain access to exclusive merch, and I think this is the perfect time to announce our big, exciting news to everyone. Are we ready?
You should
Oh,
tell
yeah.
me because I don't know about it.
Are
What
you-
do we?
You do know about
What's
it.
going on? What's happening here?
We have a brand new members only show that we're calling Extra Poison. So this is the very first time we're announcing this new members only show to everyone. It's an extra dose of poison tea party for those of you who think just one episode every other week just isn't quite enough. And that's something that we've been hearing a lot from our audience.
Over and over again.
That you guys want more, and you are some hungry bitches.
Faux show.
Oh, yeah.
Extra Poison is going to be a lot like this show, but we also plan on bringing in some things that we haven't really brought in on the Poison Tea Party, like current events, strange news, and we'll possibly use it to continue conversations from this show, you know, whatever we feel like. It's going to be less structured, it's going to be more personal, it's going to be a wild time, and we're really excited.
Let's say it's going to be more us. I mean,
Yeah.
not that the
This
tea
is pretty
party
us.
isn't us, but it's going to be more like talking and less structure,
less-
like you said.
Yeah, like less scripting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Extra Poison is only available to members of our Patreon page. Our members have actually known that this was coming and they knew the date drop weeks ago. And that's just another perk that you get when you're a member of the Patreon. You get to know everything first. So our very first episode of Extra Poison is out now on Patreon. So go to patreon.com/thepoisonteaparty, sign up and get your poison on. I'd like to end this Christmas gathering of family and friends by making a special Poison Tea Party toast.
All right,
Are we
here
ready?
we go. Let
Here
me
we
move this
go.
pyramid. Hold
Okay.
on.
To all our listeners, we want to sincerely thank you all for joining us as we close out this very first year of the Poison Tea Party podcast. Goodbye, 2024.
See ya fucking
Goodbye.
never.
It was a crazy year. May you have warmth in your homes, peace in your hearts, and poison in your teacups, however you choose to celebrate the season. Happy holidays to you, and a very happy new year to each and every one of you listening to us here at the Poison Tea Party. We wish you all the very best, and we'll see you next year. Love you all. Oh, and you've been poisoned. Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you all.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Love you all.
Bye.
That was cute.